Cities is a complex web of tunnels, cables and pipes carrying everything from water to trains. But under the feet of people in Paris exists one of the complicated systems of tunnels ever seen. The tunnels are still being checked to make sure they won't collapse and bring buildings above crashing down. Our Paris correspondent Christian Fraser has been investigating.
From an underground car park down steep, hidden steps, we're descending into the bowels of Paris. This is one of the densest underground networks in the world. With 180 miles of intricate tunnels, we're exploring a city beneath a city.
You can see some lights coming from the surface.
The well shafts drop 40 metres from the manhole covers above. The tunnels were mined for the gypsum and limestone from which Paris is built.
But imagine the horrendous conditions in which those who dug this labyrinth of corridors must have worked, operating down here from morning until night in thick dust and high humidity. In those days they couldn't afford to retire. They came down here at a young age and they worked until they dropped. And very often they worked in the dark.
No one realised how porous the foundations of Paris had become, not until 1774, when suddenly one of these chambers collapsed, swallowing an entire neighbourhood above it. In response, King Louis XVI commissioned an architect, Charles-Axel Guillemot, to explore and reinforce the tunnels. Every chamber was mapped and a name given to the corresponding street above it. Down here, you have a mirror image of Renaissance Paris.
So this street is still here?
This street is still here, but wider. Okay. It's a boulevard now.
On one wall, there's the fleur-de-lis of the king. On another, post-revolution, it is scratched out.
You can see that there is a crack. Each part of the quarries are checked by the General Inspection of the Quarries. So if they saw the beginning of a falling roof, they do something, they prepare a new reinforcing wall or something.
Since 1955, the quarries have been closed to the public, but there is one section that remains open, the catacombs. At the time Guillemot was strengthening the tunnels, Louis was closing the overcrowded cemeteries. The exhumations went on for years, long after the king, until all the bodies had been reinterred in the empire of the dead. It's a very different end-of-term excursion.
What do you think of the catacombs then?
They're scary.
Victor Hugo once described the tunnels beneath Paris as the city's luxury and magnificence. The millions who visit the City of Light each year may beg to differ, but then they know very little of her dark, subterranean secrets. Christian Fraser, BBC News, Paris.
I think that's quite creepy down there. Don't forget, you can get in touch with me and some of the team on Twitter. I'm at BBC Naga. You can also see what we're working on at our Facebook page, facebook.com/BBC World News.